Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do a fun and super simple abstract painting. I got a request to do something that had a little bit of depth. That request came from the hubby, so we are making it happen today. So today I am using my Arteza acrylic paints, and right now I am laying down a permanent red. That is what they call that color, and I'm not worried about making any kind of specific design or anything. I'm just wanting to lay my paint down. I also am mixing in a phthalo blue. I'm hoping to get a purpley color, but I don't want it to be perfectly blended, so I did not pre-blend, and so I'm blending it on the canvas. I am adding a bit of titanium white, and this is to go ahead and take out some of the brightness of the color and help with that blending, so I get kind of a purplish hue, but with some bright spots with the red and with some spots that clearly look like they're blue. So again, not looking to have it perfectly blended, but just get color down, cover all the parts of the canvas. And my brush that I'm using at this point is just a die-hard utility brush. It's really great for laying down the color and spreading it around. Right now I am taking the plastic that was covering my primed canvas and just mashing it into that color to get a little bit of interest in the background, so that way it's not just a perfect flat blend. Then I did set aside the canvas to dry, and once it's fully dry, I am now going to go ahead and lay some masking tape down. It's very important that the paint is fully dry, because when you pull up the masking tape at the end, if any of your paint was still wet, it will pull that paint up. Right now, I don't have a specific design in mind, so I'm kind of just going with what I feel like at the moment. The reason why the colors are two different colors, the beige masking tape is a little bit thicker than the blue painter's tape that I have, and so I wanted to have two thicker stripes, and then now I'm going with the thinner stripes of tape. And again, no pre-idea in mind. I am just kind of going with it and seeing what I'm feeling at the time, so you can kind of see me auto adjusting a little bit, and just going with it, having fun with it. I do have an idea kind of in mind of what I'm hoping I'm going to accomplish, uh, but nothing that's too specific as far as like where the different pieces are going to be. So now that I have my tape laid down, I am grabbing some crimson red. So I want something that's a little bit darker than the permanent red that I had mixed in to make my purpley color. And what I'm going to do is now add that color wherever I feel like my shadow would be. So in my mind, my light source is coming from the top of the canvas, and so I want that part that's going to be a little bit darker and give the illusion of depth to be then on the bottom side of the tape. And so that's what I'm doing now. The brush that I'm using is like a little scrubber brush, so the ends of the brush are kind of uneven and rounded. And this is just so that way when I do put the color down, it's not perfect. It doesn't give me brush strokes. It's just like, I'm trying to think of the right word, just marks of color. I don't know if that explained it very well. That's kind of how I see. But if you see what I'm doing there, there's nothing that looks like a perfect stroke of paint. There are no brush strokes. It's just kind of scrumming it in to those sides that would be where my shadow would be. So I'm laying that down, making sure to get everything that would be considered below the tape. I have just a few pieces. And then once I lay all those down, then after I'm done with my red, I'm going to grab just a little bit of that phthalo blue again and go over my pieces of red, but just barely. So my brush tip is barely touching the canvas, so that way I'm not overtaking the red completely or going past the red, but it gives me more of a shadow effect without it being a pure Mars black or black if I had used Mars black. So again, this is going to give me the illusion of some depth on the canvas. And I'm just going to put that everywhere I put the red, but not as far out as I did on the red. So it's a little closer to the tape. And again, I did speed this up just for easier viewing. And this is my favorite part. I can't tell you, there is something so satisfying about pulling up the masking tape whenever you use it in painting. It is very satisfying. But you do have to watch out because especially you want to pull it up while the paint is still wet. Otherwise it will pull up some of the dried paint. So do it while it's wet. Make sure not to get it all over your skin. But that is the finished product. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that and can see what I was trying to go for with a little bit of depth on those pieces. And I hope you come back. Please like and subscribe.